Welcome to Learning Lua. This is part 2 where we're going to cover print and using comments. We've already looked at how we can use print with the Hello World example when we were setting things up, but let's look at a few more uses and innovative ways that we can use print to simplify our development. Print is primarily used with just straight Lua to output information to the console. That allows us to quickly see what the current value of variables are, where we're at in the program if we're trying to debug, and to do basic troubleshooting. As we discussed in part 1, I'm using the ZeroBrain Studio for this example. You can download it from their website as trial or give a small donation to help support the continued development of this great IDE. So let's go ahead and get started using the print statement. Print is used to output information to your console. That allows you to quickly and easily see where you're at in the program, to do troubleshooting, to check and see the value of variables, and do basic troubleshooting that needs to be accomplished inside the application that you're using. As we mentioned before, Lua is widely used for many development toolkits, so learning Lua is a very valuable tool set, and print is probably one of the most useful tools for being able to do your troubleshooting quickly and easily. So the keyword print will output information to our local console, which is down here on my screen, and I can say, as we did in our example in part 1, nice simple hello world, and then you've got 3 different options for running. You can just simply execute the file, go hello world. You can do a start or continue debugging, or you can use the scratch pad. The scratch pad has the advantage that anything you type automatically is output to your output area as you enter the new information, and I'm going to go ahead and use that in today's example. One resource that I like to use inside the print as I'm working on more complex and large programs is to be able to see what line I'm actually at or what file I'm working in. The print command allows me to quickly and easily enter what line I'm on and what part or file that I'm working in. In this case, I'm on line 2, part 2. As you can see, that would make troubleshooting this file much easier if you know exactly where things are located inside of your app. The comma gives a tab break between the 2 parts, making it a little easier to read and much easier to get your information on the screen quickly and easily. The print command also automatically calls a toString, which is a conversion routine or function built into Lua to convert numbers into strings. So if I give the command such as print 12, it will automatically convert 12 into a string and be able to output it to my console, so I can again use that in a number of ways. Of course, that could be used for line numbers or just simply to include values or to tell you where you're at in your troubleshooting. We do need to differentiate between a string and a variable. If you want to output a specific piece of information, you need to put quotation marks around it, and that converts it into a string. If, however, you give it information that is not in quotation marks, either single quote or double quote, it will treat it as a variable. In this case, I've got the word hello. Because it does not have quotation marks around it, Lua automatically assumes that this is a variable and outputs the information that it's currently a nil variable. I'm going to talk more about variables in the next lesson, so we'll discuss what the difference is between a nil, how nils are used, why we have nils, as well as all of the other variable types that are available to us within Lua. So if I want hello instead to be output to the screen, we can put single or double quotes around it, and it automatically then treats it as a string piece of information. Another very useful tool for doing your troubleshooting is being able to concatenate. Concatenate is the process of joining 2 strings together. So if I want to output 2 strings, such as our example of hello world, this will join the 2 together automatically. Notice that concatenate does join the 2 strings as they are. It does not add any spaces or expect to try and make adjustments to it. So it is doing a literal translation of the 2 strings and just simply joining them for the output. If you want to add spaces to things, just make it more readable, you can add space to your string to output it. There isn't really a limitation as to complexity of your strings, so if you wanted to add your space that way, you can do so as well. I frequently use comma for my troubleshooting or using concatenation with variables to be able to output my information quickly and easily. Another very useful tool inside of the Lua language is being able to comment. Of course, all programmers know being able to comment your code is critical, especially if you ever hope to do maintenance or troubleshooting or work on it the next day to remember where you left things off at. The basic line comment is 2 dashes or 2 minus signs. Anything after the minus signs will be treated as a comment, not outputting to any stuff. The Lua will automatically ignore anything after the double dash. We can use comments in line. Again, anything after the double dash will be ignored inside the system. You can also do block comments with double dash and then the block character. The block comment is ended with the right blocks or right. There we go. And there we have print and comment, two very useful tools for doing any kind of programming inside Lua. We have a lot more tutorials and lessons forthcoming. If you'd like to follow what's happening, you can follow us on Twitter at Dr. Brian Burton, or Facebook at Burton's Media Group, or follow us on our website, burtonsmediagroup.com. If you'd like notification through YouTube, hit the like or subscribe button.